How much did you make from the clients?
I've taken my annual revenues and I've about almost 3x'd it.
How long have we been working together?
3 months.
There's millions of businesses out there that need help.
Everyone knows that they need these tools. To charge a client 5 or 6 or 7 for like a setup, even like 15 grand. For many clients, that's just like 1 or 2 sales. It's been invaluable to have the done for you partnership with AI Arbitrage. You help us to define our niche, to define our ICP. You know, I've seen the tools now that you guys have built to support this process. Having this as a new tool in the repertoire has like just been a game changer.
Stephen, welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you for visiting us in Dubai. I really appreciate it. Can you give us an overview in terms of what you were doing as we met?
It was a sequence of very fortuitous events that happened, starting with my son being born, who actually I named, for the sake of this, I'll say it was after you, but his name is Jordan.
Hey.
I had retreated from what I was originally doing quite a bit to just kind of relearn, pick up some new skill sets, really go deep on AI knowledge. And I think that's where the algorithms are really good these days, is like you start looking
Facebook
up things,
ads,
Facebook ads, and all of a sudden you get put into that algorithm and it's like, was obviously attracted to everything you were saying and the way you had presented everything. And it was very enticing, like what you guys were offering. And I do come from a technology background. I had worked, gosh, I don't know, maybe the previous 18 years in Silicon Valley. I focused mostly on like product ownership and project management, but always working with dev teams. I actually had built a product that I bootstrapped. It was called obituary.com. I had sold it 2 years prior, but it was my baby. I had built it for the past 7 years. And that experience was what kind of took me to another level in terms of just having, I guess, entrepreneurship. I had my own business, a consultancy where I was doing professional services. Actually, it started because the company that purchased Obituary had me kind of retained to keep developing the platform, integrating with other things. And
you replicated some of that with other clients.
And so that I took that services model and replicated it.
It's a great pathway, especially for if you're in employment or if you're in consulting, to then be like, okay, how do I start to scale this and how does it become more profitable? It's hard to ignore the AI boom, isn't it?
Everyone wants to incorporate it, wants to be a part of it. And so it changed the value proposition of my own company, where sometimes in just generic professional services, you find that there's a lot of competition and people aren't as engaged.
Yeah.
And so having this as a new tool in the repertoire has like just been a game changer.
I know you're not going to like answering this question, so I'm going to ask it early doors. How much money like were you making then in terms of net margin? Where are you now? And then I want to speak about where we're heading, and we're going to dig into bits in between as well.
Can we sign an NDA first?
Everyone, non-disclosure, don't tell your friends. Links in the description.
So yeah, before AI Arbitrage and kind of changing my mindset more towards the AI, it was about 250,000 a year that we were generating. Net margin was probably somewhere around like 60 to 70%. It was a comfortable life. I was providing for my family, did everything I needed to do, had a lot of flexibility, which was of the utmost importance at the time. A couple years before that, had my daughter, who's now 5. So this has been a time for family, growth. After COVID and living in San Francisco for almost 2 decades, my wife and I had moved out to the country and got some property and changed kind of the pace of life, growing our own food, raising our own animals, having our children grow up in this environment that was somewhat nostalgic for the way I grew up.
Yeah. It's the dream now, isn't it?
At every stage of having different children, there's been a level of responsibility that has just fired me up and been instilled to want to do more. And and then now it brings me back to AI Arbitrage specifically, where I would call it like one of the best things that have happened to me in terms of changing my whole mindset of how I deliver to my current clients and what my value proposition is to them. It took me some time to realize the true benefit, but now I'd say like I have a full grasp of everything that you guys, of what I saw you positioning and what you offer and what I guess the opportunity that you give to people in your advertisements. It's not just like a fly-by-night thing. Like this is real. Like we're in an economy where, and in a market of course too, where everyone knows that they need these tools. We have our highest leaders talking about it and making the way, and And so there's a lot of opportunity for anyone who's willing to adopt these things at this early stage. You know, I think we've seen so many bubbles in our lifetime, and they just keep happening. If we can take advantage of the trends, which this is definitely one of them, and we're at the forefront right now. But if we can do that, then there's a lot of opportunity there.
As a business owner, you want to provide value, right? And we get paid as business owners in cash for providing value, right? The economy goes wrong because of that. For me right now, I see AI, like you said, it's a trend, but it's also a revolution. So it's helping with sales and marketing.
Yeah,
it definitely is attracting people. Here's the pups.
Hey. So cute.
But it's also going to change how
two of them.
Yeah, two of them, yeah. Oh, he hasn't barked at you. You must have good energy.
All right. Who's this one?
Lilo and Bella.
All right.
Yeah,
Hey.
Bella's just a baby. Hello, son. You okay? A lot of people who we work with, similar to you, they know how to make money. They can make money, but they want to make money in the right way.
Right.
And I think you're making money in the right way.
It's the first time I'll say that I've had the opportunity to utilize my skill set and blend it with my passion. And again, like I'll have to say that only happened because of how I was able to position myself with my knowledge of AI, the tools and the things that I've learned from you guys. Coming out of college, I had graduated with an accounting degree, and I realized that I was in the wrong profession. For me, it was just a job. I bring this up because I'm passionate about what I'm doing, the way that I'm able to serve my clients, knowing that the landscape of AI is so rich right now, and for those that are willing to learn it, there's so much opportunity, but you're delivering something that people really want. Prior to AI Arbitrage, I was like a pure consultancy, like services business. The way that things have changed is it's given me more flexibility. It's given me like a broader skill set and tool set. The way that we go about it now is just a different conversation. It's a more exciting conversation. There's more opportunity for not just growth, but even margin, because what you're delivering is something novel.
Now you can provide more value to a client than what it costs.
Yes.
And the best examples of that is organizations like Apple. Like the profits that Apple make per phone are so astronomical, but it's still the best value product you can buy on the market, or they wouldn't have such market share.
Yep.
So the margins are so high, but the value is still so high for the end consumer.
Yep.
And that's what this technology allows us to do.
Yep.
And obviously the business model as well. So can you talk a little bit about the structure of your first deal, how long that took you to close, how you positioned it?
The deal, or the client, is in the health and wellness space. He's a pretty notable authority in the space.
Someone like that probably has a lot of people saying, will you work with me?
Yeah.
I can imagine. I know I do. 100 messages a day being like, can I work for you? Commission only. Da, 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 da.
Sure.
We don't want to. Like, I want to pay people. I want to pay the best people to work for me.
Yeah.
I don't want people who are shit to work for me for free. And he's probably the same.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Why did he choose you? How did it come around?
I had an opportunity to go through his class. We had an opportunity to discuss kind of like some of the like things that I just saw as like a business person, and we connected on that after I had reached out, just expressing my gratitude towards him for like genuinely helping us out, and so the first thing that we had discussed was an AI platform. The deal structure and the positioning of that was all supported by the things that I was for sure learning with AI Arbitrage. Just the idea of taking different tools and leveraging them, and it all played into it. I was able to build a roadmap of deliverables and like kind of like sharing this vision that was all about different components of the things that we've learned and other things that I've, the background that I have as well. So
I still invest heavily in consultants and experts because you can't be an expert in everything, right? And
right.
I definitely don't want to be.
Yeah.
But it's about taking their expertise and bridging it with your experience.
Right.
And with that is when you can really build something, like you said, novel, unique, very special to the market, which gives you a competitive advantage because it does allow you to become one of one.
Yes.
And that's where I would say professionals like yourself, and when I started my journey, I was looking around, I was thinking, yeah, I'm pretty good at business development and like relationship development. And that's very valuable to a business. I think in most people's mind, they think when they think of AI, oh, I need to be a developer. Or if I help someone with mindset, I need to be Tony Robbins. That's not the case, because there's millions of businesses out there that need help.
Yep.
And business is challenging if you're shrinking, staying the same, or growing. So whatever's happening in the business, businesses want to invest in improving their business. As a business owner, and I'm looking for the best way to allocate resource, capital. I have an excess capital. I know I need to grow. If I don't innovate, someone's going to innovate. Then my clients are going to say to me, this product's better, I'm leaving you for this product. I don't want that to happen. So businesses are forced to innovate. It's not like an individual where you're like, oh, this year I'm going to chill. Right. Businesses can't do that.
They don't have that luxury.
Yeah, they don't have luxury. Because we're hitting a point of inflection with AI, those businesses who don't adopt are going to struggle in this next chapter. And like, I think we're all familiar now with the Netflix blockbuster. Everyone was kind of sick of that. But you're just seeing that at scale now with AI. Like, based on your experience, your journey, if someone is like consulting background or working in corporates and they have skill sets they do feel like they can leverage, but they might not feel like they have that end solution, how were you able to then put that together, with our support and also the things that you had?
I guess being able to show your client like the value, I think that's another unique aspect of your guys' model that taught me how to reframe even where I would go into a client and the things I would talk about and like how long it took me to get to the value. The lead time now is so much quicker, the deal lead time, and being able to understand your client, especially with the method that you guys use. Not sure if you want me to let everybody know.
Yeah, for sure.
That's like trade secrets.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, most people don't take action. And the reality is, those who do, and if they do take action and they try to do it by themselves, they're just going to be way more successful if they work with us. So for us, and especially now because you've seen AI clients, we're investing so much in the tools to do things.
Right.
I think knowledge, because of things like ChatGPT, AI platforms that are allowing you to pull knowledge from experts, IP is very important, but also the tools to apply that knowledge become more important in this economy.
It's great that you guys, I have seen the growth, even in the short period of time that I've been here, the investments you guys have made, but even as a experienced business owner, kind of starting a new offering within my business, it's been invaluable to have the done for you partnership with AI Arbitrage. You help us to define our niche, to define our ICP, to do all these things and take us through the process that makes us successful. I've seen the tools now that you guys have built to support this process. By far been one of the most robust, comprehensive, end-to-end tools for this use case that it just makes a lot of sense. And the way you guys have put it together, also again, having developed some AI tools before, it's just a vote of confidence to what you guys have built and seeing how it actually works and how the whole process works, right? And it's actually gotten me the opportunities that I possibly would have not had before. Okay,
cash on the dash. How much did you make from the clients?
So I've taken my annual revenues and I've about almost 3x'd it. It's just the start.
How long have we been working together?
3 months, 4 months.
And the typical B2B sales cycle in the market is 3 months. And that's how, when you put the right things and pieces of the jigsaw together, you can massively condense those timelines. And I think that's worth noting, that's what most people are working with in the B2B market. But like you said, when you get that speed of value right, and you're selling on the benefits, the outcomes for them and the AI to deliver it, it's not a hard sell. You're pushing on an open door.
It's so much easier to sell the benefits of this. And like you had mentioned earlier, the value proposition to charge a client $5 or $6 or $7 grand for a setup, even 15 grand. That's just, for many clients, that's just 1 or 2 sales. The fact that you have your system set, and yes, there is some work that you have to do, but that's part of the done for you model is where you guys help build that structure.
And you've hired a VA, 2 sales reps already.
Yeah.
What does the next 5-10 years look like for you? How big do you see this growing? You've heard my crazy ambitions, but how are you feeling now?
Well, I look forward to mimicking somewhat of everything you guys, all the success you guys have had. It's quite inspiring to see what you've built and how it's done. And you guys have let me see a little bit under the hood, some of the special things you guys are building. And so I think the leverage that AI gives you, and that I'm producing way more, and I'm not doing like that, like I'm not going crazy, I'm not like overworked or anything, which means that I'm taking advantage of something that's here to help me scale. Yeah. And you guys have provided like that channel in a way that's very like scalable. And to me, that's what business is about, right? It's like, got to make money and we got to provide, but how do you do it in a way that makes sense for you, that you don't have to over leverage yourself from a time perspective or from a health perspective? It's how do I deliver value to my clients, have them be happy with my product and my output, and then make money along the way.
Thank you, Stephen.
Yeah.
Appreciate your insights. Thank you so much.